Hey guys, I'm so happy to be back. Sorry I disappeared. Just doing 3 videos in 1 week was just really exhausting, plus life, and I was like, I just need a break. But I am back here to stay on my normal routine. I am so happy to be back reviewing one of my favorite video game series of all time, Legend of Zelda. Yes, I am a die-hard Legend of Zelda fan. Legend of Zelda jewelry, Legend of Zelda custom mirrors, Legend of Zelda clothes, Legend of Zelda Bible, Legend of Zelda Skull Kid cosplay, Legend of Zelda everything. I am so happy to be doing a solid review on an actual Legend of Zelda game. None of this like side Zelda stuff like Hyrule Warriors. Great game, but like a real Legend of Zelda game. Presenting Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap. Released in 2005 for the Game Boy Advance. Frankly, I did play it on the Game Boy Advance back in the day, but I didn't really enjoy it because my sister played it and it was like right in the middle. I was like, I don't know what's going on. This game sucks. But it probably sucks because, well, I didn't know what was going on. But Nintendo had a wonderful E3 sale and I saw this game for $5 and I was like, you know what? This game has a lot of praise. I need to play it as a die-hard Legend of Zelda fan that I so claim to be. So I decided to play it, and this time from the beginning, and I have a much different perspective on it. Minish Cap begins on the day of the annual Picori Festival. Princess Zelda hustles over to your house, drags your half-awake Heiny to town. While enjoying the festival, Zelda mentions a sword fighting contest. Whoever wins gets to touch the mighty Picori blade, which presently seals a chest of darkness. After you and Princess Zelda check out the festival, she says she has to freshen up for the award ceremony. As the award ceremony unfolds, you're introduced to the main baddie, Vaddie. Of course, Vaddie is the winner of the sword fighting contest. He makes his evil intentions clear when he does away with the guards and breaks the Picori blade, unleashing numerous evils among Hyrule, and turns the dear Princess Zelda to stone. After being knocked out by Vaddie, Link wakes up in the castle and is told he must find the Picori, also known as the Minish, which are teeny tiny creatures, and repair the Picori blade by finding the magic elements. Because, you know, only children are able to see the Picori, and I mean, why not send a child on a perilous adventure? Just give him a sword, he'll be fine. Away to the Minish Woods you go to meet your latest and greatest companion, a talking hat. Ezlo. Ezlo is a kinda difficult character to describe. He's witty, sarcastic, picks on Link, but in a tough love kind of way. Ezlo is Link's greatest item, if you would. He can shrink Link all the way down to the size of a Minish, which is crucial in gameplay. This game follows the traditional Legend of Zelda formula: dungeon crawling, puzzle solving, discovering new items, using them to defeat said dungeons, bosses, etc. But this game has a few fun twists that no other Legend of Zelda game had. Number 1 being the size factor. This provides a whole new level of exploration and dangers. An example being, as a Minish you could speak to animals, fit into tiny places that you can't reach full size. But on the flip side, you're so tiny. So puddles of water, oceans, and cats will try to eat you, and you can't speak to regular sized people. The size factor also plays a huge role in dungeons. You can't get into certain areas until you go small to big to small again. It just added an entirely new thickness to this game. The next awesome thing about this game are kinstones. Kinstones are magical stones created by the Minish, and if you connect matching pieces of kinstones with different people or animals, something magical happens. Treasure chests appear, new people arrive or create new things, new passages are open, and maybe some will lead to a sparkly new item. It's never a dull moment when kinstones are matched. These side quests are so much fun. I have stopped progressing the main story just to match up all my kinstones. While kinstones are pretty much the main side quest, there's a little more to do, like finding swordsmen throughout Hyrule who teach you new moves. Find all of them and you may learn a super secret sword technique. Like every Legend of Zelda game before it, this game is all about exploring. Also, something worth mentioning, there is a currency called Mysterious Shells, which can be used to try and obtain figurines. These figurines really have no purpose other than to look at them. It's really just a simple distraction from the game. The graphics for this game are surprisingly great for a Game Boy Advance game. I was very impressed actually. When you stand on a stump, you see the glow against Link as his clothes ruffle and Ezlo chants his magic words. Like, just the minor details of Link's untidy hair, the different expressions on Link's face, all contribute to this game's gorgeous look. The look especially shines when you shrink to a Minish size and you venture into tiny places. When the background's blown up, it just becomes amplified. I simply cannot express how impressed I am with this game's graphics. Then we come to the final bit, the music. Legend of Zelda is known for keeping songs used in previous games and adding extra beats here or there. And I absolutely love that. Hyrule Field, the Great Fairy Fountain, Entering a House, Swordsmaster, and more all make a comeback. Now, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of new music to accompany every Zelda game. New boss themes, new character themes, new lore themes, and so on. Another thing I've always appreciated is when on the adventure map or in a dungeon, the music elevated my sense of danger and adventure. And after trashing a dungeon, vanquishing the evil that lives there, and collecting the element, a soft tune plays as you claim your prize. And it makes you feel like you've claimed, for lack of better words, the light, the good, you know? And it was such a nice contrast after listening to such high-powered boss battle music. My favorite track I would have to recommend is the Minish Woods, a mystical rhythm to accompany a mystical forest. A song that kept a trace of adventure, even if it was in a more hushed tone than the other maps. To me, it had more of a sense of wonderment. Without further ado, please enjoy the Minish Woods. And there you have it, my fellow adventurers, my thoughts on Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. This game earns a whopping 9.5 out of 10. I'm being nitpicky, I really want to give it a 10 out of 10, but I guess if I have to be a reviewer and critique, This game is by far my favorite Legend of Zelda that is handheld. That I have also played. Story, 10 out of 10, rock solid. The story picks up quick. You see Zelda, the baddie's shortly introduced, and then boom, you're off to an adventure. Brand new characters, Vaddie, brand spanking new, at least to me. And Ezlo being a sarcastic asshat. I mean, not really like ass, but he is a hat. And he was just like such an interesting character, like you're a hat, like my sidekick's a hat. Not a fairy, not some android spirit sword, a hat. Other characters reappearing always makes me happy. Of course, there's Link and Zelda, but like the Postman, Beetle, the Giant Goron, and many more. It was just like, oh! They were all consisting of their fun and weird quirks. The game is very short, so if you're like wanting some like deep odyssey, no. But still very enjoyable. The gameplay. Oh my god. I give it a 9.5 out of 10, and that's me being nitpicky. I played it on the Wii U, so like the gamepad, it was just like, I don't know, I just didn't enjoy the gamepad controls as much. It's not like they were foreign, I don't know. I don't have a solid reason, but that's really it. Everything else was awesome. A wonderful map waiting to be explored, littered with secrets. The new aspect of like shrinking to discover new places, new people, was just fantastic, was awesome. It was such a small concept that made a really big wave in the game. You use it in dungeons, outside of dungeons, maybe during boss battles. It was just always there, and it was brilliant. They were so creative with it. You know, not only did you shrink, but you faced new dangers, and you got new, for lack of better words, powers. You know, you can talk to animals, or you could ride on little lilies to like move around bodies of water. But of course, when you're small, there are new dangers, so like cats would like claw at you. Or raindrops would be like damaging, or puddles, you couldn't just cross over them if you were big. They were like oceans to the Minish. It was awesome. Kinstones, that was probably one of the most enjoyable parts of this game. When you match kinstones with NPCs, magical things happen. You know, a really strong monster might appear, and when you defeat it, it'll leave some crazy awesome treasure behind, or new passages would open, new people would come into town, just, you don't know what would happen, but when it happened, it was awesome. To me, it never got boring. I was always looking forward to what would happen. Some people would say kinstones were just like too short of a side quest because you link it and then a magical something appears, and it was just like, that's it. But I really enjoyed it because matching the kinstones was part of the mission, but then you had to actually claim your prize. The chest didn't appear right in front of you. A monster didn't just appear right in front of you. You had to go to all these locations and actually claim your prize. So I thought it was great. Next we have the figurines. The figurines are really just like a complete break from the game. You just use your mysterious shells, hope to get a new figurine that you haven't gotten, and there you go. New items like the Cane of Packy. I don't know if that's another Zelda game, but it was new to me, and you just pointed at something and then it flips over. Like, it sounds kind of useless, but it actually comes in handy. Remote bombs, the greatest thing ever. A bomb that you can control when it goes off. The dungeons were good. There were none that really like raised the bar. It was just kind of like, oh, going through the dungeons. You know, they were like a nice like challenging level, but there weren't like any like that dungeon. Oh my god. No. The boss battles were pretty interesting. There were some bosses where you had to fight as a Minish, and the boss was actually just a regular sized monster. So imagine fighting a Choo-Choo, but as a tiny little thing. The boss battles were great, challenging, and thrilling. The graphics are a 10 out of 10. I was really impressed, truly. The emotions on Link's face, Link's messy hair, Ezlo like jumping on him and shouting, the magic letters that come up when he's trying to make Link turn to a Minish. It was just all those details really added up. And then when you became a Minish and you kind of saw the world like more detailed, it was just, they did a really great job. Personally, I like these graphics more than Spirit Tracks or Phantom Hourglass. Yeah, I said it, I'll take that pixel life any day. The soundtrack, 10 out of 10. I know my music portions of this kind of sound redundant. The fact is I'm not a music major, I just kind of tell you if it sounds good, and it did. Familiar music. I mentioned it before, like the Great Fairy Fountain, Entering Homes, the Hyrule Field, all of that was just kind of like, I am playing Legend of Zelda and everything is right. Honestly, if I didn't hear those wonderful melodies in a Legend of Zelda game, I'd feel kind of put off. I do wish there was a little bit more variety when it came to the boss battle music or the sub-boss battle music, because it was all the same. All the bosses had this music, all the sub-bosses had this music. And, I mean, Vaddie was the only exception. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bada ba ba bow. And there you have it! My review on Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. It is an excellent game. If you love Legend of Zelda, if you love action-adventure games, if you love me, you will play this game. I implore you, I encourage you to get this game. With that said, I have to ask, what is your favorite Legend of Zelda handheld game? Obviously, mine is the Minish Cap that I played on Wii U, but it's still considered a handheld. And I'm not talking about Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. Let me know in the comments below, and with that said, I'm out of here. Peace.